By popular demand, we're going to dive into 10 US tech sector stocks in 10 minutes so you can know which stocks to drop off your watch list or which ones to keep and dive further into so that you can save yourself time and money. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Jason Pizzino, and yes, I do have an Australian accent, but I do cover all international markets, including US stocks, Aussie stocks, cryptocurrencies, and of course the property cycle. The aim here is to do our own research and learn the most we can about developing our own passive income portfolio in order to give us that financial freedom. Today, I've enlisted the help of my good friend and Victorian lockdown member, Justin Baldori. He is stuck down there in Melbourne, but he is going to do us 10 stocks, the same 10 stocks as in this video, and do all the fundamental background on them. So be sure to check out his video. I've left a link in the description down below after you've finished watching this video, which is only on technical analysis. If you've ever wondered what it takes to construct your own watch list and begin building your own stock portfolio, then this 10 stocks in 10 minutes is going to be a very helpful video for you. Essentially, you're going to get a look at how I view stocks and other assets at a macro level before I spend more brain juice on each of the stocks individually when it comes down to the actual buy and sell points. So if you like any of these stocks, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll do a follow-up video with the top 3 stocks that get mentioned in the comments. Remember, this is technical analysis. We are only looking at the charts, and that is all we are giving consideration to at this point in time. Now, with that said, we're going to look at a few things, maybe 3, maybe 4, essentially the pattern of the stock itself, and that is a brief overview so that we know if we need to continue with it or move on. The next thing we'll look at is where the stock is in its own cycle, and we'll use the Wall Street cheat sheet to help us with determining that point. And lastly, I'll give you my thoughts on, is this stock a buy, sell, hold, or wait? So with that said, you know the drill. Like up the video, subscribe, and bell notification icon, and if your thumb or finger or whatever it is you use to click that button with isn't too sore, jump across to tradingview.com now, also a link in the description. It's all free. Follow along on the charts, and let's get nerding up in those charts right now. And we start the clock. We're at 1 minute. So now we've got our first stock here, Workhorse. Now I've chosen this one first. I don't really like the look of it because, like I said, we're going to look at the Wall Street cheat sheet. And basically, I think we're in this sort of phase of the Wall Street cheat sheet. Belief, thrill, euphoria. Now, if you don't know what this is, I'll leave a link in the description for you. Workhorse, that's the ticker symbol. But if you do want to see more, let me know in the comments down below. The pattern, I think it's going absolutely haywire up. Not to say that it can't keep going up, but I want to look for stuff that is low risk, high reward. And this is the low risk area for the high reward. So for me, buy, sell, hold, wait, I would be waiting on the sideline because I think there are better opportunities out there instead of putting my hard-earned cash into something like Workhorse. Let us know in the comments if you want to see this one. Now, the next stock is Apple. Let us know in the comments, NASDAQ ... Apple. Now, the pattern is similar to the last. It has gone a little bit parabolic. What would I do? I would be waiting on the sidelines, but I do like the look of this one as a buy at some point because of the pattern that we see forming here. So this one here is a month down so far, and it looks like things are going to start to just ease off overall, but I do like this one as a longer term hold, and I'm just waiting for a better entry. Now, if you want to know what that is and how I got to that point, let us know in the comments down below. But basically, I'm seeing this level of around 80 to 90 bucks as a potential support level after maybe 2, maybe 1 month in the opposite direction. Reason being is previous moves down, Apple has shown many months to the downside. These are starting to shorten, which means it's starting to speed up to the north side. 2 months down, maybe we'll only see 1 this time, maybe 1 or 2. That's the reason why I'm looking at this one as a potential buy in the coming weeks. Start the clock for NVIDIA, NVDA. Now, this pattern looks similar to the previous ones we've looked at. It's just shot off to the moon. Not to say that it can't go higher, but I would be looking at a pullback from here. Reason being is that we've seen a run up of about 161% from this low, and that's a pretty darn good Fibonacci number. I'm looking for maybe 1 to 3 months of a pullback, and that works out really well because we have the US elections coming up, and basically investors tend to sit on the sidelines at this time, and that is looking very similar to what's actually happening in the charts. Last time we had a pullback, 3 months, I'll probably expect to see something after the US election on this. But as a price point, probably somewhere around that $400 would be a lovely level. Let's see if we get there. Let us know. Comments down below. Do we get to 400 on NVDA? Next on our list is Salesforce.com. Now, this does have a spike up, but I like it longer term because it's had a pretty solid growth run up until 2018, 2019. And it's basically COVID that stopped that for a brief moment before it took off again. Now, this is still straight up, or at least the month of August was. So again, I think this has probably got some time to come back, maybe test the $220 level to 200 level, but I like this as a much better stock going forward. So this would be something that I would like to do a little bit more research on myself. So hint, hint, maybe put this one in the comments. But with that said, let's move on to the next stock and see if we can find ourselves a better stock to purchase. Amazing. Oracle, we found it. I like this because we have broken through some old all-time highs. It is a lot slower than the other tech stocks, meaning that it's taken so many more years for it to break its high, and it hasn't gone that much further. But I like the volume here. The volume has been very heavy early on, which could mean accumulation. I guess it has meant accumulation because we've seen the price increase a fair amount since these lows in 2002. And now the volume is starting to die off a little bit. It's not that there's that many stocks being traded out there. And potentially we could see the spike run come at some point in the future, maybe after the elections. This is definitely something I would like to do a little bit more research on. So again, comments down below. Do you want to see anything on Oracle? Is it something that would be on your watch list? Now, I know we've got a little bit of time up our sleeve, so let's have a look at Wall Street cheat sheet again. And what we can see happen after the euphoria stage is the complacency. These stocks will tank a little bit, but people will say, no, we're good. We're going to come back. And I think that's what will happen at a point. Whether this is what we're going to see now, not sure. Maybe we're just in this stage here, but keep that in mind. Definitely keep this as a cheat sheet. So let's get back to the next stock, which is AMD. Now, I like this and I've got it on log scale. So if you want to know more about that, let us know. But essentially I put it on here because it's broken out of its logarithmic resistance. Now, if it falls back into this point, I would say that we would come back to $60. If it doesn't hold there, this one might be over for the time being because it has seen huge runs in the past. Check that out. Big pumps, big dumps for a long time. On the list, but I am cautious. Moving on, and we have Square. The ticker symbol is SQ. So put that in the comments for this stock. Another one I like the look of, which I just think is going to need a little bit of resting time. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months of straight up. Now, nothing goes straight up forever. It needs some time to rest, and that is a very healthy sign if it takes some time to rest, because then we get some more buys into the market and it gives itself time to be able to create some more energy in that stock before it takes off again. Levels I'll be looking at are using the Fibonacci numbers here. So we've got 61.8%, it's around $120. Potentially the old highs, which we know from the channel is support and resistance. Old resistance becomes support, so potentially $100. I like the look of this one. This one would definitely be on my watch list. And look, it could continue up from this point and just burst through the top. We don't even see a pullback at this point. I think we may, just because the election's coming up, but I would keep this one closely on my watch list. Running down into the final four, Spotify is the next one. Now we're starting to see an awesome pattern. Look, an old high, there is not much chart data, but look, we're going to work with what we can. Old high, it's broken through the old high on high volume. I've got the Fibonacci tool out here. It's sitting perfectly with 61.8%. It's sitting potentially really nicely with the 50%, which I know is not a fib number, but 50% is an important number. That lines up pretty well with the old high becoming future support. So all of these things are lining up for me that make me love the look of Spotify. This would, so far, would be on the top of my watch list as something that I would look at potentially buying first if I only had a set amount of cash reserves to deploy to the markets. Spotify, SPOT. Comments down below. Hint, hint. I like this one. Facebook, FB. Look at this. Similar sort of pattern that we just saw on Spotify, old high coming back to retest. I'll put this on here. Now, again, Fibonacci, it's hitting all the same levels. The 50% is lining up perfectly with the old high in 2018. There was a period of accumulation through here and we've broken through. It's not crazy to the upside. We've broken through on some very good volume, meaning it's broken through the old all-time high. Having a bit of a rest period, that is perfectly safe, normal, fantastic. It's what I would want to see. I don't want to see it just burst straight out into space. Okay, so Facebook, as big as this stock is, I still like the look of it as a potential buy for a portfolio. So that would go on to my watch list as well. Silly me, couldn't count. This is the last stock. This is 10 of 10. Microsoft, ticker symbol MSFT. Put that in the comments if you want to see more on Microsoft. Looking at this, it's on a tear. The trend is up. The trend is your friend. Go with the trend. It's been on a upwards trajectory for the last 10, 11 years. COVID only managed to pull it back for a month and a half before it took off again. Volume has increased. It's just looking solid. Maybe a pullback, and I would just want to see what happens if it does pull back and sit on this old support of 180. It's something that I would look at for my watch list because the company's been so strong. I'm not sure if it'll go through another one of these periods after such a huge push. I do think there are better stocks out there, but I would definitely keep it on my watch list. Let us know in the comments if you want to see more on Microsoft. And of course, Justin will get into the fundamentals of the top 3 stocks that we look at today. There we have it, our 10 stocks in 10 minutes. I thoroughly enjoy that, going through a watch list and then putting a few stocks aside, scrapping the others so I don't waste any time on those, and I can dive deeper into the ones that I like the look of. With that said, let us know in the comments down below which stocks you like the look of and you want to see more analysis on, technically and fundamentally, of course, with Justin's channel doing the fundamental research on these stocks. If you haven't already, hit the like button down below. What are you waiting for? Did you find any value from this? Let us know in the comments down below as well. If you're new here and you still haven't subscribed, again, what are you waiting for? Hit the button down below, subscribe, bell notifications icon, so you can see when more of these videos come out on my channel in the future. If you are interested in becoming a better trader or investor, building your passive income portfolio, or just using it as a side income, join my Discord down below. It's in the description. There are other investors and traders in the group that can help you and teach you things that even I don't know. There is a lot of information in that group. Now, when you join, just be sure to click on join members. And from that point, type in ASX and I'll know that you're ready to start your free trial. So click the link in the description down below. I'll leave it there. Like, share, subscribe, you know the drill, and comment your 3 favorite stocks from today's video. I'll catch you guys at the next one. Until then, have more fun and get more done.